Today's topic is about application properties. Every application needs properties which are configured, which are basically values which the application requires, but they are configured from outside the application. One reason to keep certain properties outside the application is you don't want to hard code them into your application because that's a bad programming practice. And second thing is these properties may change over time without affecting the application. For instance, let's say you are using some external API, and its URL can change depending upon if you are using the test environment or staging or production, or even in production, sometimes the supplier may change the APIs. You don't want to open your application, go and change it, and recompile and redeploy. You just want the feature to update these values from outside the application, and the application code itself just continues to run when the property changes. So again, we have the minimalistic application over here, and you will see here a node called the main props. Now, the default instance comes with a property element, which is a main props, and it points to a database table, which means that when you want to update a table, you go and update that table. When you want to update the property, you go and update the table. And inside your application, you just access a value like you would normally use as a schema element. So first of all, let's see what the table looks like. So the table is called Z underscore properties. Okay, and the way you will access it is to will go through the DB assistant, because that's your interface for all database access. Here you will see a lot of properties, but here we will find here it is set properties. So if I do a select from, you will see that it's got a name. Increase the locale value. Sometimes you may want the same property to have a different value based on certain conditions, but it's not used. Just go with the name and value. So if I select this, I will see a whole lot of properties because there are a lot of applications that are configured on my system, right? And just look at what the name looks like. Typically, the name of a property would be to clearly identify what you are defining. You may want to it's a multi-word, and you separate it by dots. And this is how you pick a name, and then you give a value, and you can update the value from here as well. So let's go back to our designer, and let's say I want to use a value which I've defined in my properties. Okay. One thing is that the nodes uh, cannot be declared, or there is no way you can declare the properties here as nodes. So it's a little bit of a blind situation. You need to know that a property exists, and you need to know the name of it, right? The schema validator will not be able to validate the name you're using. So sometimes it's touch and feel. So let's say I want to access a value of a property. I can come here and I can refer it by slash main props, which is the root node. And after that, I can give the name of the property. So, which was, let's say, my app dot external API dot URL, for instance. And then I can assign it to somewhere else. Assign to. I can use it like any other path, except that this path is I don't have it available in my designer. I have to go and look up the table, or since you are creating those values, you have to know pretty much what it is. So what this statement means is it's going to go to the properties table and retrieve property by this name and then assign it here. Now, when an application is running and you want to change, you can change the property on the fly. You don't have to stop and restart the application. You just simply go to the DB assistant, change your value to whatever you want, and what your ZOAPIIO container does is it polls or it refreshes its list every 10 minutes. So that means if you make a change now, uh, within maximum 10 minutes, the new value would be incorporated in the application on the fly. You don't have to stop and start your application. So properties are useful, and almost every application requires them. And here's how you can use them.